So, hello everybody. As you may know, we went to Japan and we also visited Tokyo, and we also wanted to get some goodies from Tokyo for our hobby, or one of our hobbies really, because role-playing games are of course a thing in Japan, but the problem is of course all of the books would be in Japanese, and if they're not, then it's something, you know, that we could probably get over here a lot easier. Plus, the thing is, while most Japanese people probably learned English at school, I would doubt that their English is good enough to read and use English-speaking role-playing game books. So we didn't even go and look for them specifically. But we did want to get some magic cards. So we went to Tokyo MtG or MtG Tokyo, I'm not even sure what it is called exactly. And it was a weird one. It was a very weird experience. Essentially, we went there and it was like, it seemed that the shop, if it did exist, was in a residential house, like on the second floor, and there were other people living there, and it was kind of weird. And although there was two of us, we just decided, I mean, if I'd been on my own, even as soon as I made it to the residential area, I would probably have turned around. But even between the two of us, we were like, we're not going to go there because it felt kind of dodgy. So we ended up not going there, but we went to a place called Big Magic, which is right in Akihabara, and we did some shopping damage. So basically, we didn't really know what we were going to look for and what we were going to find, simply because we'd never been to a shop in Japan. And we basically said, at some point I was like, I don't care what I'll get, but I do want to get something from Japan that is MtG related, and even if it's just a die, like a life counter die. And I got one of those, but we also did some serious shopping damage with regard to cards. Now, we discovered old Innistrad packs. They come at 12 euros a pack, which is a lot less than I would have paid in Germany, almost half the price that I would pay for these in Germany. So I bought several of those. We also took out a couple of Bloomburrow and Wiles of Eldraine boosters. So, and also we came across a box which contained lots of tokens, which we then bought, because tokens for Bloomburrow are one thing that we're really short on. I also came across packs of lands, and I play black, and there are very few black lands that I have, because there is no black commander and there's no black in the starter decks, and I just basically was unlucky with my draft. So I basically, whenever I opened any of my booster packs, I hardly ever got any black lands. So now I've got a pack of 20, and it cost me 698 yen, which is less than $7. So that's very good value for money. And I also got this old pack of old swamps for 800 yen, which is also less than $7. And also in this box of goodies, I found something that I collect, and those are art tokens. So these are the art cards. For most of them are for Bloomburrow. As you know or may not know, I collect them, and I just bought all of them. Some of them are even signed. Some of these, if they are in a sleeve, then I got them from the shop. If they are not in a sleeve, it means that we actually drew them when we opened our booster packages. But I really splashed out because I mean, this is, for example, one that has been signed, etc. And I really, I really love collecting them, and they give me the opportunity to appreciate the art even more, because I can take a good look at the art, because it is of course blown up. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to look at every single card we got. I got, because my partner in crime got her stash, which is huge as well. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what we got. So this is my Bloomburrow. I only opened one booster of Bloomburrow. And I got, like I said, in addition, plenty of these tokens, which we are really short on. I was also lucky that I managed to get a couple of cards from other decks which can be used in Bloomburrow. You know that we have this thing where we say Bloomburrow is an excellent set, but what they didn't do is they didn't keep with the theme. When you look at the Commander decks, they are horribly unthematic. You know, there is a card that's the chauffeur from, I want to say New Capenna. It doesn't work. You know, guys, if you want to have a plane where everyone who goes there turns into an animal, and you actually state it in the lore, you can't just create those mixed pre-constructed decks. It doesn't work, but you have to reprint every single card. You did it for Lord of the Rings, so if you're going to do this, then I'm sorry, you'll have to do this for us as well. So it is now our mission, as it were, to find as many cards from other decks, from other sets, as it were, that we could use in Bloomburrow. And the one thing that they have to fulfill is they don't need to be cute. That's important. They don't need to be cute, although the cuteness factor is through the roof with this one. But they cannot have human beings or non-animals in there. So if it's an elf, it's already not acceptable. If there's a human there, if there's a vampire there, we don't care. It has to be an animal. And if there are humans there, we cannot use the card. This is our probably very restrictive take on things, but this is how we're going to play it. So I've been very lucky in finding cards that one can use. So for example, Shriekhorn is, well, it's not a human being and it's not an animal either, but it's an artifact that you can use. And this card cost me 100 yen, thereabouts, that's 63 cents, a euro cents, or 70 US dollar cents. So this is something that we cannot actually use because, as you can see here, there is human beings there. But I found other cards that I can use, or that we can use, and I'm going to basically add them to my Bloomburrow. And then, of course, my passion is, and I'm very open about this, is, of course, Innistrad. Innistrad as a setting is absolutely incredible, in my opinion, and I really love it. And I think it is one of the ones where they did it right, where they basically said, we are going to provide one setting and we're gonna follow it through. I know that there are some cards in Innistrad that are reprints from other cards and from other sets, but they have managed to keep with the theme. So basically, I'm going to show you what we got, because, like I said, we got old Innistrad packs and we opened plenty of them. So we've got the Mask of Avacyn, we've got the Graveyard Shovel, the Galvanic Juggernaut, which I still think, I mean, yeah, it is Innistrad, but I really don't like it because this is such a steampunk thing and I hate steampunk. Geistcatcher's Rig, on the other hand, is really cool. Wooden Stake, perfect. Cellar door. I really love the art. Traveler's amulet. Yeah. The rider set off into the eerie mists, waddled in armor and laden with amulets. I don't know if it did them any good. Demon mail hauberk. It comes off as easily as your own skin. So basically the equipped creature gets +4/+2, but equip, you sacrifice a creature. So it's basically the creature's skin that becomes the demon mail hauberk. Witchbane orb. I mean, shout out to mana critics. We need to really ponder this orb. When Witchbane orb enters the battlefield, destroy all curses attached to you. You have hexproof. Chapel Geist. I mean, the art on this one is just incredible. This Geist with the flowing robes and everything is just beautiful beyond compare. It's got flying. Death has bounded with chains of past regrets. Forever it searches for atonement, each kindness removing a single link. So basically, if you treat this Geist, or if this Geist treats someone well and shows kindness, it will get released in the end. That's a very nice sentiment. Here we've got a priest of Avacyn. Human cleric. Moorlanders speak in awe of the priest's talent for arriving just in time to drive off the wicked things that prowl the ravished parish. Also a way of keeping yourself in the game is by bringing about the wicked things and then coming and doing away with them. Village bell ringer. Priests, hunters, slayers, to arms, the enemy approaches. Purify the grave. Some priests speak in whispers of the hell vault, a silver prison of unpurged evils. Though the old holy wards and roadside shrines have begun to fail, faith in Avacyn still holds true power. Smite the monstrous. Again, beautiful art, very thematic. The Doom Traveler. This is the one that I actually bought as a separate card because I found it in the box. And it didn't really say that it was from this set. It actually said C on it. So it's the same card. But it is very, even then I thought I was going to put it into my Innistrad collection because it does remind me of the idea of, you know, somebody traveling through the land of Innistrad and, you know, who knows what's going to happen to them. He vowed he would never rest until he reached his destination. He doesn't know how right he was. Abbey Griffin, Flying Vigilance. Thraben Sentry. Looks like it's going to be a quiet nighting. Avacyn Priest. Doom Traveler. Smite the Monstrous again. Fiend Hunter. Mykias the Lunarch. Now, Mana Critics did a great video which I recommend to everybody, and it's basically the fashion of Innistrad, where they point out that if you're a human, then you will be wearing like leather, a lot of fur, because Innistrad is a very cold plane. But the more evil you become, the less attire you wear. And they have as an example, Mykias the Lunarch in his zombie state. And when we saw this card, we were like, oh, that's him in his still human cleric state. And also, he's a mythic rare, which I really liked. A Vicinian Priest again. Silver Chase Fox. Now this would be the kind of card that I will actually put into my Bloomburrow deck because it's an animal. And it could perfectly fit into a Bloomburrow. The clever little creature can steal your wards and lead you right into the werewolf's den. Be careful in your hunt. So this is going to go into our Bloomburrow stack. Disciple of Grizzlebrand. I mean, this guy, first of all, the art. And secondly, you really want to know what he put over his head. And this is still a human, so he's wearing a lot of fur and a lot of clothes. Okay, well, this sorcery, for a ghoul, every village is a buffet and every disaster is a reunion. Bloodline Keeper, so now we are entering vampire territory. This is actually a rare card. And here we can see the stylish dress. Victim of the Night. I believe I've seen this card before. Do not touch a drop, not yet. I want to watch the so-called Slayer's last crisis of faith. Olivia Voldaren. Curse of Oblivion. Beautiful art. Very beautiful. The first step to peace is to learn how to forget. Bump in the night. It's not just the wind. It's not all in your head. And it's definitely something to worry about. I mean, the art, this is a nightmare turned into a card. Stromkirk Patrol. You best move along, human. Our palates are far less discerning than our masters. Night Terrors. Just look at the art. This is just, to just render it as a shadow. Innistrad is a place where dreams invade the mind and mere shadows exact a terrible toll. Unburial rites. All crave the blessed sleep. Few receive it. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. For 4 and 1 black. Gruesome Deformity. Enchanted creature has Intimidate. It can't be blocked except by artifact creatures and or creatures that share a color with it. Very interesting mechanic. She wanted to inspire terror wherever she went. The demons happily granted her wish. Altar's Reap. Here I have the issue that this card is so busy and I can hardly make out what I'm seeing. And I'm wearing my reading glasses. So that's where I think when the artists drew this, they lost sight of the fact that it will be condensed and made so small that unless you're being very clear with what you're showing, it just becomes a mess. The demons don't care if we mutter niceties and act out ceremonies. Just kill him. Mana Skeleton. Lungs dry to parchment, wheeze, blasphemers within a cage of bleached bone. Brain Weevil. We'll just skip right over. Falcon Wrath Noble. Now this is an incredibly evocative card. I really love it. And it's kind of like this guy is wearing a robe and, well, not a robe actually, or is it a robe? And it's got these, it's almost like he's wearing a kite. Unbreathing Horde, Corpse Lunge. That's like your haunted house scenario. Somebody just lunges onto you from within a wardrobe. Tribute to Hunger. Morella was delighted. The ball had attracted too many suitors for her daughter, so many suitors for her daughter, including that handsome stranger. She wondered where the two were now. Well, Ravenous Rot Belly. So this one was one from the box. I don't know if which commander this is from, but it fits right into the idea of Innistrad, Victim of the Night, Ghoul Caller's Chant. That's so old school. This image is just so old school. You would find it in one of the older, and I'm talking AD&D and previous editions of Dungeons and Dragons. The living are born, small and weak. The dead rise ready to serve. The choice is obvious. Gisa, Ghoul Caller of Gavoni, or Gavony. Ghoul Raiser, Jadar, Ghoul Caller of Nephalia. I actually have his card. Come, bring your brothers. Tonight you feast on living flesh. Bitterheart Witch. Now she is one of the humans that is on her way to becoming very magical, and that is why she has decided to strip. So she's now not wearing the leather and the fur, but she's basically bearing arms. Stormkirk Patrol again. The Disciple of Griselbrand again. More of the Maya. That's destroy a target land, you gain 4 life. I mean, this is a great card. As the chapel was dragged under, the bell in the tower rang until the murky depths forever silenced its toll. Walking Corpse. Just what it says on the tin. It's a 1 and a 1 black and 2/2. Is it hopeless? When waves upon waves of our dead return as mindless flesh eaters to claw upon Thraben's walls, we're too busy cutting them down to indulge ourselves in such philosophical foppery. Bloodgift Demon. Griselbrand. Flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, target player draws a card and loses 1 life. I love this card. Curse of Oblivion again. Rotting Fen Snake. That's just an ugly snake. That's all I'm going to say. Murder of Crows. We're running a campaign now called Murder of Crows, so when we saw this card, we had to laugh. Even more than carrion, they crave the last word of the dying. Delver of Secrets. Beautiful card. Human Wizard, fully clothed. Grasp of Phantoms. And again, it's quite difficult to make out what's happening in this card. I mean, I can see the arms, and there's possibly a human being somewhere, but I really find it impossible to make out any details. Runic Repetition. What's up? Obsession I call the quest for perfection. Rooftop Storm. This is so, like Lightning Rod, Frankenstein. I really love this card. Let those idiot priests tremble. A new era is in unlife begins here and now. Oglor, raise the lightning vein. Curiosity. Enchantment Aura. And one of the few foils we drew, Dream Twist. This is just such a great card. I mean, I love how they are bringing in this dreamlike quality with the warping walls. Beautiful. And again, one of the things that I really love about the idea of, both Barovia and Innistrad, the mist. I really love the mist. The mist whispers to those who know it to be more than just mundane fog. Scarb Goliath. Frightful Delusion. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. That player discards a card. Whether he actually exists is in question, but the terror she feels is excruciatingly real. Now, okay, sorry, trigger warning, sensory deprivation. That is, the art is spot on, but it's also super terrifying. Curiosity again. Curse of the Bloody Tome. Yeah, that's a bloody tome. After seeing his life's work drip away, the mage decided it was a good time to go crazy. Yep. Silent Departure. The same magic that lets geists pass through our realm can force them out of it. It's just beautiful. Think twice. There we simply, when we were looking at this card, we simply didn't know what we were seeing. I mean, yeah, there's this woman and she's got this hand, but I have no idea what's happening with her hand, if there's something clawing its way out. Also, how is it related to what the card does? Draw a card, and how is it related to what the card is called? Think twice. We just don't know. Either I know just the spell I need, or I'm about to whatever. Oh, okay, so think twice means you draw a spell. Of course, you draw a card, and either I already know or I'm about to learn. Battleground Geist does what it says on the tin, beautiful card. Not content to nudge vases and chill drawing rooms, some geists muster spectral armies to claw at the hearts of the living. Undead Alchemist, Lost in the Mist, beautiful card, beautiful art. The secrets she carried could have saved many lives, but they quietly drowned with her. Counter target spell, return target permanent to its owner's hand. We will just skip this one. Somber World Spider. Okay, it's a spider. It does what spiders do. It has reach. Stensian vampires encourage spiders near their manors so they can rob the webs. Oh, okay, so this is a huge spider. Grave Bramble. Creature, plant, defender. Nature abhors a zombie. Protection from zombies. Prey upon. That's a beautiful werewolf scenario. You don't find many old werewolf hunters. Pollen, Trapper of Somberwald. Grisly outcasts, human werewolf. Seen as unsavory, the hunters were never allowed in town until one night they vanished. Turned into Krallenhorde Wantons. Krallenhorde Wantons. The boot prints became paw prints and they led right back into town. So be nice to your hunters. Kindercatch. So it took me a while to realize what I am seeing, but this is some kind of monster and it's pulling behind it a sack or something, and you can see the the children's arms, because Kindercatch, Kinder of course is children, so it's the catcher of children, not the catcher in the rye. In the forest villages of Keswick, parents feed their children wormwood and other bitter herbs, hoping to make them less palatable to things that roam the night. Spidery Grasp. She's a vampire, clearly, because she's not wearing much. Nobody's seen the Lady of Videns for years. Poor dear, no companions at all in the old castle. Ah, well. Bramble Crush. Again, very busy card. Civilization is fertilizer. Ambush Viper does what it says on the tin. It's a snake. Ulvenwald Mystics, human shaman werewolves. With this ritual, we cast aside our fragile humanity to turn into Ulvenwald primordials and embrace the ancient ferocity of the undying wild. Now, these are really kind of like the ugly version of werewolves, and very much on point. Spider spawning. Ugh. Put a 1/2 green spider creature token with reach onto the battlefield for each creature card in your graveyard. So this can be a very powerful spell. Orchard Spirit, just a spirit. Moon Mist. I mean, this is just, again, and please consider that there's an orb here. Transform all humans. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt at this turn by creatures other than werewolves and wolves. Only double-faced cards can be transformed. This is the only direct transform card I can remember seeing in all of Innistrad. Make a Wish. I believe that there is a Mana Critics video where they actually show, or is it Rustic Studies? I'm not sure. But one or the other has a video which basically shows what happens in Shadow over Innistrad, which is basically Shadow over Innsmouth, where Emrakul, comes along and in this card gets a complete makeover of this girl being changed by Imrakul. Very, very, very cool. And Gavany wishing is taken as a sign of weakness, yet the wells usually brim with silver. Villages of Estwald. You can spot a werewolf-infested town by its lack of butcher shops. Turns into Howl Pack of Estwald. Those are more wolfish werewolves. Ranger's Guile. It took me a while to realize that this is actually a person who is a tree. Grave Bramble again. Dark Thicket Wolf. Werewolf slayers don't know for certain how werewolves are created, so they kill all the wolves just to be safe. Caravan Vigil. And another spider spawning. And then we've got Nightbird Clutches. I mean, I just love the art because it's a huge crow. I mean, it's a huge crow. I have once seen a film, a documentary with Joanna Lumley, and she basically visited this guy who keeps crows. I mean, we're talking European crows. And these animals are massive. I mean, I didn't know, I mean, I've seen crows because we've got crows all over the shop, and we saw plenty of jungle crows actually when we were in Japan. They are a lot bigger than the crows that we have here locally, and they also look different, but they're not ravens. Ravens are huge, 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 huge. And now we've got a raven that's big enough to actually take a person away. Shiny polished silver can ward off many creatures, but it attracts others. Night Revelers. I mean, this is again fashion of Innistrad. These are vampires, and look at their dresses. Vampires think of themselves as the indisputable nobility of Innistrad, able to do as they please. There are few who can prove them wrong. Reckless Waif. Human rogue werewolf. Yes, I am alone, and no, I'm not worried. Turns into Merciless Predator. Before she just wanted to snatch your purse. Now she'll take the whole arm. It's my kind of girl. Past in Flames. This is just such a beautiful... I mean, this woman has had it. She's just decided to burn down the house. That's my kind of girl. Geist Flame. Geist Flame deals 1 damage to target creature or player. And, I mean, just look at this. This is so D&D. Like, when people have sorceries that can enchant their weapons. This is what I believe this looks like. Innistrad pyromancers find their best raw materials in the fury of the dead. Blood-crazed neonate. Now, I thought, when I saw this, do I recognize this card? Is there a blood-crazed neonate in the modern Innistrad? Because these are from 2011. And no, there isn't. There is a blood-crazed socialite. Feral Ridgewolf. The wolves no longer hunt just to feed. They kill for sport or for some madness behind their eyes. While elder vampires select their meal with care, the newly sired frenzy at the first whiff. And she really looks like she's frenzied. Brimstone Volley. Village Ironsmith. Each night he abandons the trappings of civilization, turns into Iron Fang, and he looks like he's been in the wars. In each morning, he repairs the front door. Ashmouth Hound. Very interesting. Its fiery paws make it easy to track, which is very useful when you want to go in exactly the opposite direction. And the Nightbird's Clutches again. Riot Devils. Yeah, you just have some devils. Devils are demons' unearthly desires made flesh. Let loose on the world, they satisfy their mad craving for destruction in a whirlwind of chaos. Nightbird's Clutches again. Pitchburn Devils again. The ingenuity of goblins, the depravity of demons, and the smarts of sheep. Crossway vampire. I mean, that is a weird picture. I mean, why is she sitting there, and who is this guy? And I mean, yeah, I know what she's about to do, but that's just a weird. I mean, I know it isn't, but to me this looks like something that AI dreamt up. I honestly find this card, I dislike the art. It just looks weird. Infernal Plunge. When we saw this card, we were like, Assassin's Creed. Oh, mighty Grizzlebrand, scourge of the heedless world, gladly I consume myself for thee. Yeah. Geist Flame again, and the blood-crazed neonate one more time. So this is my newest edition pile for Innistrad. I also found a couple of cards that definitely seem to be coming from Innistrad because they're werewolf themed, like Vision of Ruin, Thundering Nightmare, Ruinous Intrusion, Timon the Youthful Geist, they are from Commanders, Doom Weaver, Olivia's Wrath, of course, that's Olivia Voldaren. These ones definitely would work in Innistrad as well. Glass Cast Heart, definitely, because it's and I believe I have this as part of the one vampire commander that I have. So these are just cards that I got again because they were there. They were very, very well priced, and it's always nice to have more than one copy, just in case you want to add them to a different deck. Then I also got some cards just because I could, because they were beautiful, and this one is an old card. It's one of the older look, Cavern Harpy. Got it 4 times because it was very cheap. Reduced to Ashes is simply a great card which you could use in almost any setting as far as I'm concerned, and it deals 5 damage to target creature, so it will go into my normal red pile because I usually I have sets separated. So Bloomburrow is separate from Innistrad, from Lord of the Rings, from New Capenna, etc. And then I've got a mixed bag of cards depending on their color, and this will go into my red pile. The same will go for the Voyek Bodyguard human soldier. I also got this card just because I could. It's the Blade Juggler. It's a human rogue. I don't know where it comes from because it's got the C again, but it kind of reminds me of Ravnica, and I just love the art. And it's just one of the ones where I'm like, will I use it? Because it's 5, it's 4 and 1 black, and when I play it, then it deals 1 damage to me, and then I draw a card for 3/2, unless of course the other one lost. If an opponent lost life this turn, which may happen, but it's highly unlikely usually, unless you have a lot of trample or they have no creatures whatsoever. It's just an awesome card. It just looks great. And it would fit into even an Innistrad setting, because you could imagine that at Olivia and Edgar's wedding, they might have a Blade Juggler. So, lovely card. I also got Kyla, Sigardian Emissary, definitely from Innistrad. And I believe she's a commander, but I could be wrong, but it's just a beautiful card anyway. And I'm also planning on building a Griffin Sphinx deck, and so I got a couple of Sphinxes. Watcher in the Mist definitely goes into Innistrad. Passwall Adept is also something that I would put into my normal deck, so my normal cards, my normal blue cards. I also have a couple of other cards. So this is the Restless Bivouac card, which is, it's a land card, which I got twice. They had it several times, but I really like it. It would definitely, because it doesn't have any humans as far as I can tell. One could use this, we could use this for our Bloomberg deck, but we can definitely use Psychic Impetus and the Leapfrog. Definitely works with the frogs in, and I've got this one twice so that I can have more cards for Bloomberg. So this is a land card which goes over here, and these are just cards for my blue stuff. This is all Innistrad goes over here, and then I just got cards because they were beautiful, and there is a card missing actually, because I had a really, really beautiful card which we only later on discovered was from oh my dear, it's gone. That's a shame, because I really liked it. Weird. Yeah, that's actually a bit sad, because I got it specifically for its beauty. That's a bit weird. Is it in here? Oh, it isn't. That's weird. That's really weird. Anyway, it is actually from Duskmourn. We found that out because we saw it on Mana Critics actually. But I got some other cards which are in Japanese, so I will not be playing them because we have an agreement that we don't play cards that we can't read. So we would play cards that are German or English, but we will not be playing cards that are in other languages because, you know, it would be always, we would have to look it up. So this is a beautiful card, probably from Kamigawa, which is of course very fitting as it is Japanese. This is an older card. This is also an older card, and I just collect them. And this is also, it looks like Kamigawa. And this is a card that is simply beautiful as well. So these are my beautiful cards that I got simply because I love beautiful stuff. Yeah, it's a bit weird that this card is missing because I saw it so many times and I'm pretty sure that I picked it up, but I can't find it now. I mean, okay, never mind. I will get it because it's a glimmer. It's a cat-like glimmer. And that would also work for our... there are a couple of Duskmourn cards which are really beautiful, which we have decided that we're going to get simply because they are very, very beautiful and will also work in other settings. Yeah, so that was a brief look. Oh yeah, the Archpriest of Shadows. She's also a human warlock. I don't know where she's from because it says R0NOM, whatever that is. But this is just... Oh, here it is. Haha. So here we've got my Duskmourn Glimmer. It's a cat glimmer and it's just totally beautiful. and I really love this card. I saw it, and of course it's a cat, so I had to have it. But we didn't realize what this where this card came from. And we saw while we were on holiday, we watched some of the Mana Critics videos, and they basically showed this card, and we realized it's from Duskmourn. But the Archbishop of Shadows is also a card that you could, or that I would actually put into a commander deck for Innistrad, a vampire-based one, so that would work as well. So this is my the stuff that I got for my haul. If you are interested in looking at the art cards, leave a comment and I will show them to you. But other than that, that's all from me. And of course, yeah, here's the, and I actually don't know what this is. Could be Nuka Penna, I'm not sure. But this is also what I got. I got myself a life counter. Talk to you soon. Bye.